Hiking 80 miles across the British Channel Islands. I think it's time to explore the lesser known parts of the UK. I've always heard about some islands just off the coast of northern France which are basically British but unique in their own way. The Channel Islands are full of history, from the medieval castles to the World War II bunkers, and with it being summer it was the perfect time to see what they were all about. I'll be hiking 80 miles across Jersey and Guernsey, following the Channel Islands way, using the ferry to island hop, arriving into ports that have been used by pirates for centuries. I'll be wild camping wherever I can, abandoned bunkers are my preference. All that I need to survive is in my pack, and I'll resupply using local produce. If you didn't know by now, I'm Liam by the way. Like most things, the best way to see a place is on foot, and as a human, walking comes naturally to me. Being out in the sun, breathing the fresh air, and feeling the stones underfoot are everything. I sometimes wonder, if I ever become super wealthy, would I keep doing this? And the answer is yes, every single time. So, the Channel Islands, here I come. Welcome to the Channel Islands. And no, this is not the Caribbean, this is basically Britain. This is Jersey. I'm on the island of Jersey, and the plan is to hike around it and get the ferry to the next island of Guernsey. In total it'll be about 80 odd miles. And I found such a good view overlooking the town over there, St Helier. That is the capital of Jersey. So Jersey has a population of around 100,000, just over. It's about 12 miles by 8 miles, I'm pretty sure, something like that. So it's quite a small island. It's been British or English since about the 11 or 1200s. I've actually got a bird's nest above me. That's what you can probably hear. But man, what a vibe to it. I plan on going into St Helier down there, but from what I've seen so far, the Channel Islands are a mix of little old England and really rustic French put together, and this is what you get. The locals speak English with like a kind of southern accent, but a twinge of French accent too. Lots of French visitors popping over on the ferry from the Normandy coast. Man, it's so cool. So the Channel Islands are actually closer to France than they are to England, but yeah, well, it's so much history here. During World War II, this is the only part of British soil that was occupied by the Germans, so there will be lots of defences that I plan to wild camping, either that or somewhere on the coast. Everything I need is in my pack. And if this view is anything to go by, the Channel Islands should be pretty special. I spent the next hour exploring the streets of St Helier. It was so similar to the UK, with pubs and high street shops everywhere I looked. I made my way out of town towards the seafront. The French street names really threw me off. It was the perfect summer's day to get some good miles in. Man, it's so chilled. So chilled. It really is like the Normandy coast. Just nice houses dotted everywhere. Really peaceful. A nightmare for ships though. Lots of rocky crags, outcrops everywhere. Just over there is looks a bit of a fortress or a battery. Probably built by the Germans, which is just kind of crazy to think about. Got the Union Jack just flying over there. The quaint village roads were so quiet. I passed through in amazement with how clean everything was. I walked down the steps onto the beach and got a view of France. It was just a stone's throw away. Well, let's have a look at this. Just come in from the beach, which is there. There's some kind of, I don't know what it is, whether it's part of a castle or defence. That looks before 1940s. Pigeons right at the top. That's pretty cool. First pillbox. This is huge. For comparison, very big. I walked on some of the whitest sand I'd ever seen. With palm trees lining the walkways, I felt a lot further away from home than I actually was. The tide was out and the bay was full of boats that were high and dry. I took a detour to explore an old castle, hoping to find some buried treasure beneath its walls. Just in the quiet country lanes. I've come up from the coast now and I'll head back down, but I've come across this farmer's field and some of you may have heard of them, but these are, I'm pretty sure, potatoes, Jersey Royals, pretty famous, and they grow on the slopes of Jersey. They're really nice, like new potatoes. They're all over, I think. So yeah, the farmer got thousands of them. They're so lucky. They're so nice as well. Coastal trails took me along some parched rocky outcrops and into shaded grasslands. The perfect contrast. A small fishing village appeared along the coast. This is where I'd be heading. A mural on the wall explained just how much fishing was part of the culture here. With the tide out, I was able to take a route along the rocks. So there's a bit of there's a gate there through the forest you can access, I think. Can I see? Yeah. Or you come around the coast, but that's flooded at night and no one's going through the forest at night, hopefully. So there's even like a little hello. Oh, what? Okay, I'll explore that in a minute. So, welcome to my camp for the night. Alright, so the Germans, great engineering. They've used a natural geology, a big, huge rock in the cliff face and concrete around it. Fair play. And rebar, concrete. I mean, whatever German soldier manned this MG post was seriously lucky. What a view. Just, it's quite windy, but get ready. Oh, look at that. It's like the Caribbean. Over there, you got the Frenchies. You can just go for a dip, you know, on Jersey. I don't think they ever see much action, so they probably just went for a swim. Wow, super flat, almost a mosaic floor. Okay, it's time. Hello. Imagine if someone replied there. That insect shouldn't be anywhere near British soil. What is that? So it's a bunker that's carved into the cliff for if anything did kick off, obviously. Explosives up above, but it's very small. It's about 6 foot by 4 and about 5'8" of headroom, so not very big. Lots of cobwebs. Good job I didn't go in. Shall we actually? Yeah. You could really sleep in there. Very echoey. Oh no, it's actually a lot bigger. Nope. That's so cool. Echo. I sat there sunbathing until the sun went down, feeling very content. I got out of my tent and looked up at the night sky. I spent a good while stargazing, feeling so insignificant on this tiny patch of land. Just making my way up the coastal path through the forest. And just down there is a castle ruins. They're all over the coast. Same with benches, just dotted everywhere. So you can just sit down and take in the view. Man, it's such a nice day. The blue of the ocean and the green of the hills just feels good to look at. My eyes definitely thank me for it. The trail would often come slightly inland, closer to the farms. With Guernsey being so small, I was never too far away from a settlement. The change of pace was needed, even if it meant walking on the road for a while. Just have a look at this. La Crosserie. La Crosserie. So a French road name. And the British flag. It's just so strange. I still can't get over it. The sun was beating down on all of Guernsey. I lay on the bench and took some rest to get out the midday heat. Just taking a little detour inland, and really glad I have actually. So green, so much wildlife. Guernsey in the centre is farmland really, and lots of farm roads. Reminds me of being back in England. So similar but different at the same time. Got myself a coffee. Tastes good. So, I'm probably nearly 2/3 of the way done actually. I'll definitely get to St Helier tomorrow. So, it's I think it's about 3 p.m. I'm going to keep walking for 3 or 4 hours and then look for a place. I'm not too sure. I've completed my mission now that, you know, camping inside a bunker or a pillbox. So, I might have to look for a castle or somewhere. I'm not too sure, but this place, pretty good. The bunkers on the coast were a regular occurrence. Hundreds of thousands of tons of concrete were used to build them, and they're still standing today. I envied the person up there. What an experience. taking a seat on this bench here. What a view. There's an even better one. You should go a bit closer. So it looks ideal to camp down there on the beach, maybe go for a swim, but it's still pretty busy. And it's quite built up over there as well, so I'm gonna have to take the beach around, and once I get there I'll start looking, because it's a bit more wild over there. Got about 2 hours left of walking, and I'll look for somewhere over there, but it's so tempting to go there and have a swim. There's a nice breeze coming in, but the sun has been out all day. Cannot complain. Oh, let's go. Looks like a little trail. I don't want to get scratched up to anything, but it's probably worth it. It's quite windy, so I'm gonna try and get through the ferns, and then hopefully somewhere down there. Gunner's post that you just pop up out. So sat down there, there's a bunker, just this little thing. Oh my, you'd never notice that. Wow. So there's obviously the bunkers there, and there's just a system all the way down here. It's amazing. This is as far as the route goes. I'm literally on a bunker right now. You can go down there, maybe camp there, I'll have a look. But here as well on top, it's quite flat. But just have a look at this. There's a ventilation shaft. That's quite dangerous. So let's go down here, have a look. If not, I can just camp on the roof with this view. I'm speechless. I don't even know how they managed to get a couch down here. That was just I have no clue. They would have broke their ankles trying to do that, unless they just threw it down, but it's open, so I guess I gotta go have a look. Oh my. Just how thick them doors are. Crazy. So many rooms. That'll go to the tunnels up. You can feel air coming from it. Safe to say, I was happy with the camp spot. I watched the sunset for most of the night. Good morning. Just woke up to this view. Beautiful day again. People in Jersey are so lucky. So I've just packed up and gotta head up there now. And then it's about 6 or 7 miles along the coast that way to St Helier. And then you can just see the ferry in the distance to Guernsey. That's where I'll be heading next. I left camp behind grateful for a spot like that. The morning's walk was super chill. I spotted a fishing boat out to sea, which meant I was close to a port. I had some time to spare before the ferry, so I relaxed and took in the vibe of the town. I slowly walked back into St Helier towards the ferry terminal. There was no rush. The ferry ride was just a short hop onto the next island. The seats were comfortable and the views were even better. Leaving the ferry behind, I took off out of the busy town centre. Welcome to the island of Guernsey, the second biggest island in the Channel Islands. Just over there is the capital, the town of St Peter Port. And you can see just over there is the ferry terminal. Just made my way up. Relatively busy actually in there, so I just came out on the rocks where it's nice and peaceful. So Guernsey has a population of around 65,000 people, so pretty much half of Jersey, and probably lesser known too. Lots of coastal defences, as you can see, dotted around still. So I'll roughly be making my way around the coast for about 36 miles in a loop, and I'll be doing anti-clockwise and heading back to St. Pierre over there. And I want to try the dairy. Apparently their ice cream and the milk and the cream is brilliant. Just want to try that. And apparently there's instead of a £1 coin, there's actually a £1 note. So I'm going to get my hands on one of them and keep it as a souvenir. So it should be good. Let's go. Let's set off. Not long after getting out of town, it was seriously quiet. There wasn't a soul in sight. I came across a prehistoric burial mound, so I went in to check it out. I actually contemplated camping here, but I came to my senses eventually. I think I found myself a backpacking food I can eat in the UK. So this is potato salad. Just pretty basic. Potatoes and mayonnaise with some like chives or, pretty basic, but it looks really nice. Calorie dense, about 500 calories in a 300 gram pot. And it's £1.50, so pretty cheap. So I'm gonna eat that now. I've got a view of the north coast of Guernsey. If you keep heading north that way, you'll hit the south coast of England. Man, the past few days have been absolutely beautiful. Tomorrow it will turn and it will be cloudy and rainy. So, yeah, it was expected. The sun is out. Got my sun hoodie on. What a day. It's really quiet this part now that I've left the capital. It's countryside, castles. I need another sea. I don't know. Anyway, let me tuck in. Potato salad gets a thumbs up from me. Across the water I could see a potential camping spot, so I headed over there. Just looking for a spot to camp, and there's a little island there. I don't know if it's flat yet, and I'm not sure whether the tide actually comes in. I can't tell. So maybe in the morning I'll get my feet a little wet, but here there's some grass. It's pretty flat, but As you can see, there's a beach, there's people still on it. I don't really want people seeing me. I'm not sure how the locals will react. So, I could probably wait until it just goes dark, but there's a beach just down below and there's people on it still, so there's a fort there as well. It's probably the best bet. I'm gonna try, see if that's flat. If not, I'll just wait until it goes a bit darker and then probably set up there. Let's check this out though. I think this will do. It's relatively flat. It's away from the trail, so yeah, I think I might set up here. So there's camp for the night, just behind a fortress. Sun's going down. Just drying my stuff out while the last of the sun's here. What a sunset. So in the morning, I've come to terms. There's some seaweed down there, but it looks quite dry, so hopefully the tide doesn't come in too far. But if it does, I'm okay with it. It's worth it. So I'm just gonna get some food, hydrate, and then get to bed as soon as it gets dark. I've had such a good day. Good miles, and Guernsey so far has been a lot more peaceful than Jersey. I enjoyed my food with the perfect view. I can't think of a better way. The morning brought cloud and lots of wind. I had a wash in the sea, then set off with fully rested legs. The coastal roads would lead me towards a village. Jacks like this were dotted all over the coast, ideal for people passing by like myself. I had a coffee with a view of the windy inlet. 80 years previous, this would have been a common sight. Luckily today, it's just reenactors. I love trying local produce. I heard about Guernsey ice cream, so I had to try it out for myself. I'm not sure how you even make ice cream any better, but so creamy. The nicest ice cream I've ever had. Just taking shelter from the wind. The bush shelter. And over there, it's a great name for a pub. The Puff in an Oyster. The ice cream just wasn't enough, so a freshly caught crab sandwich had to do. Wow. I'd pass by bays like this, with boats moored but hardly anybody in sight. The locals were out on the beach, taking walks and wearing waterproofs. I thought I'd follow their lead just before the bad weather erupted. I guess I was close to home after all. Wow. Really fresh. So fresh. I'm glad I wasn't a sailor because out at sea didn't look great. I decided the best place to be was slightly inland, away from all the wind. finally stopped raining. It's spitting a little bit. The wind has whipped right up, especially next to the coast, so I came slightly inland. Now it's okay, but yeah, the weather completely changed. And following country lanes like this, it's a lot better really, especially to walk in. So I've treated myself and I've booked a campsite so I can get a shower. It's actually pretty chilly, surprisingly. So the weather in Guernsey and Jersey in summer is like really, there isn't much fluctuation in temperature. It's lows of like 13, highs of 16. So yeah, surprisingly, I got pretty chilly. It's about 15 degrees right now and just the wet. Yeah, it's chilled the bones. So I'm gonna get a nice hot shower, treat myself, and then I've got about half day's walk until St. Peter Port. So let's and now it's raining again. Let's make it to the campsite. Wow. If the weather was nice, you bet I'd be in there. Just a shame it's like this. I really have got the campsite to myself, so that's where I'm sleeping tonight. So you've got drinking water right there. The morning finally brought some better weather, and at least I could dry my tent. The last stretch would mainly be peaceful country lanes just above the coast. After some relaxing walking that morning, I got into St. Peter Port. It was early and everybody else's day was just starting out. I decided to head out of town and find a place to end the adventure. Finally made it. St. Peter Port is just round the corner. I've come like 2 miles out of it just to find a spot, and this is it. A few benches, a nice opening, and you've got the sea right there. I couldn't think of a better place. Got myself a local beer. It's called Liberation IPA, and the name, pretty sure it comes from when the Channel Islands were liberated from the Germans by the Allies, so quite fitting really. Quite a big bottle, it's the only one they had, but here we go. Oh yeah, tastes like victory. I've wanted to come to the Channel Islands now for a good while, and it really didn't disappoint. Jersey and Guernsey, there's not much separating them, they were both great. I love anything history, so with like the World War II stuff, amazing. The fact it was just on our doorstep, yeah, my mind is I can't really comprehend it. It's great. But Jersey and Guernsey have been absolutely amazing. It's so weird, like the people are basically British, but they're not. They've got their own uniqueness, and I really do rate that. Weather, amazing. One day of rain, I'll take that. I will take that. And now the sun is trying to come out. What a perfect way to end it. Jersey and Guernsey, the Channel Islands in general. I should probably mention there's smaller dots of turf called Sark, and there's a few others, St. Anne, I possibly think. So give them a shout. I didn't do them because they were so small, but Jersey and Guernsey, amazing.